of course, like I'm a homer. I'm not going to ignore that.
What do they see in this guy? This guy sucks.
Prepare yourself for the Raptors Report podcast with your hosts, Julian and Steve.
Hello and welcome back to the Raptors Report podcast. It is Monday, the 22nd of December. We are closing. Is it the 22nd? What's the date today?
22nd. You're right.
It is the 22nd. Okay, so I'm not going insane. And we've got a holiday-themed podcast for you guys today. Apologies for not releasing a video, but on the YouTube channel, I've been doing a lot of stuff with the Fam Jam, so that's why I haven't been able to do that. But how are your holidays, Steve? Having a Merry Christmas?
Apart from the Raptors, yes. For the most part, yes. It's been quite enjoyable and taking some time off. It's been really nice. What about you?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. Getting to spend extra time with the family is always very appreciated.
Of course.
I just love spending time with them, reading books and watching holiday-themed movies and all of that kind of stuff. Drinking hot cocoa. I'm literally doing all of the cliched things, and Perfect. It rocks. It's awesome. I'm listening to Christmas music and stuff. Yeah.
What's your go-to Christmas movie?
Oh, we're watching a bunch, like
nice.
The animated Grinch movie. We watched that today. What else have we watched? You know what? I'll get back to you on that one. I have a really bad memory, but I'm one of those sickos who actually like plays Christmas music around the house.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not the Christmas music, like the top 40 stuff or like the popular ones. It's like the choral and like classical holiday songs.
Yeah, your house
played
must be
like
a
at a lower volume. Oh yeah, it's amazing. And it gets the kids to calm down too. So if there's any other parents out there, give that a try. But yeah, oh my God, it's a huge tonal shift. I'm feeling so happy thinking about all the wonderful Christmas stuff. And now we have to come on and talk about the Toronto Raptors. Especially the past two games. Those were horrible.
Terrible losses.
Horrible. Like I got really excited after watching the Heat game, and not as much with the Milwaukee game. That one was kind of a rough watch, but the Heat game, I was like, hell yeah. We're back. The Toronto Raptors. The time off, I thought it was like, oh, well, there's something to they're exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's why they haven't tried as hard. And they looked really good in the Miami game. They looked not as good in the Milwaukee game. And then the Celtics, I called it. I called it. I was like, this team has their number.
Yeah.
They beat the crap out of them every single time.
Yep.
And it happened again.
Yep.
They didn't have Jaylen Brown.
Yep. They
were on the second night of a back-to-back. The Raptors looked like warmed up dog crap.
Yeah.
And the Peyton Pritchard just absolutely feasted on the Raptors. And then the game after might even be worse. Playing against the Nets, they put up, 85 points?
Or 81.
Full time?
81.
Okay. Well, it was
just
horrible.
Yeah. And like with the Celtics game, I think it was, there's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff, but I think it was and I think he hit like the nail on the head talking about the actual difference in identities of the two teams. Like the Celtics have this real winning identity and stuff, and the Raptors look like they didn't have none of that.
Yeah, that JV team.
Yeah, that was a very clear difference. That's been ugly for sure.
Well, we've got a pretty exciting show for you. Please don't tune out, because we have been, just like setting you guys up. We've got some fun stuff on the menu. We've got a naughty and nice list. We have a Christmas wish list, things that we want to see from the Toronto Raptors, maybe players that we want to see for the Toronto Raptors. We are going to diagnose the Raptors' issues. We're going to break down the stats. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff and hopefully inform you and let you in on the thought process that we have been sort of excruciating over the past couple of days. And why don't we break it down? We'll start off with the naughty and nice list. Steve, why don't we start with the nice list?
Okay, yeah. Start on something positive here.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give you my first three that I have on this list.
Okay.
So I've got number one, Ingram, Brandon Ingram,
Yeah.
shooting
He's on my
37.
list too.
Yeah, shooting 37% from three, which was a doubt that a lot of people had for him, and the health. Playing, I don't know if he's still playing the most minutes in the league, like total, but he's at the top three. Nick Nurse is doing absolutely insane stuff with Tyrese Maxey. He's missed like 4 or 5 games, and he's still right at the top.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but yeah, Ingram's had the health. He's tweaked his ankle like 5 times, and every
Last
time he
game
just comes
was
back in the
tough.
game.
I know. Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of depressing because he's coming back out and like putting in work and like looking like the best player on the floor, even when he's injured.
yeah.
And then the rest of the team is just like, da la di da di da. Let's
Everyone
just
else,
go through
yeah.
the motions.
Hands in
and,
their
you know,
pockets, just like, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. So Ingram, top of the nice list. He has far, I mean, like, this is kind of, you expected him to be this go-to scorer and stuff, and of course he's had some moments of failure with clutch shooting and all that kind of thing that happened, but he was seemingly hitting a wall with exhaustion, and I think he really benefited from the break there.
Yeah.
So number two I have
Well, let's take turns because you took my first
oh yeah
one.
yeah go ahead
Oh my God. I have Scotty Barnes here.
Okay.
And I know that right now, like especially after the last 2 games where he has not been very good, it's easy to say like, yeah, this guy sucks. What's going on here? Why is he on the list? Why is he on the nice list? Well, okay, because this is kind of like a year-end wrap-up.
Yeah.
We're looking at how players have played the whole season. And yeah, he kind of sucked the past couple of games, but at the same time, he's been the best player on the Raptors, in my opinion. And of course, like, I don't want to sound like a homer here. I think that he is looking like the best player out of his draft class. I think that he is, before the past couple of games, getting it done on both ends, being an amazing defender, while at the same time, you know, putting up a really efficient, almost 20 points per game on like almost 50% shooting, field goal percentage, 37% from three, 82% from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. It's like, yeah, he is a big time player. And yes, he has not looked good recently, but yeah, I will forgive him.
I mean, I think that's a good choice, like, because defensively, he's still getting it done. He's still an all defensive player. He's still, like, you watch him, he's still grabbing and leading most of the breaks with his passing. Like, he's still making great decisions, but he's definitely hitting a wall offensively. He's not looked like he's had a lot of burst. And yeah, like the last 7 games has been kind of tough for him. But people wait for this to happen to Scotty Barnes. I swear. They wait for 1 or 2 games bad, maybe 3 games bad, and they jump on and go, see, I told you he was trash. I told you he was ever. This happens every single time. I know. He has a bad game.
They are waiting. They are waiting because they've had to eat humble pie.
Yeah.
And this is social media. We're not going to name names because we're cowardly, but you can see it for yourself. You can watch on social media. There are some people who are literally waiting for him. And I get it. Like, I get where they're coming from. He is the franchise player. He is the guy that needs to be consistently good. And they are waiting for him to slip up. There's no grace given. And on one hand, I understand because, you know, with great contracts come great responsibility, or maybe there's some other way of putting that, but like, he is being paid the most on the team or close to it. Or he's the highest paid player?
He's the highest,
He's the highest paid player on the team. He is also, obviously, they're building the team around him. But, like, it's been 2 games since he has been the best player on the team. Okay?
Yep.
Like, can we give 5 games?
It's just, with him, it's so obvious, like, that when he does have a bad game, they can't win. Like, it's because he's so impactful typically, right?
Yeah.
So a game off for him is a game off for the whole team. Like, you would need Ingram to score 60 for them to win that kind of game when Scotty doesn't have it going, and he'll lose confidence and he'll stop taking shots and stuff and then start to float back. Like, he falls into the bad kind of habits that he's had before, because I do think he's very conscious of not like shooting the team out of games. but it can kind of manifest into a bad offensive performance. Again, I'm going to have some patience. It is what it is. Hopefully he can rebound. Give him 5, give him 10 more games before you start calling for it. Because people are like, hey, we could still trade him for some value. And it's like, A, you do not trade somebody when they hit a slump, because how does that make sense? Let him bounce back a bit if you are going to flip him. And B, like, what an overreaction. Like, yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, I think it's about a lot of it. Like some of it is legit concern. Like, okay, is this guy going to be a consistent number, like franchise player? I get that. The other is like, let's start some drama. It's time to like push some buttons of the people on the other side. And there's like some bomb throwing going on. Like on one side, you have the super ultra Scotty homers.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you have the, people who are reacting to those people.
Yep.
And then the people in the middle just get caught in the crossfire between these two kind of parts of the fan base. In any case, we don't need to beat that drum.
Belabor that much. Yeah. Who would be your second if you want to we'll bounce back like that? Your second on your nice list.
Well, I had Brandon Ingram.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So like
fair.
We can, but if you want, I can give you another one. Sandro Mamukelashvili.
That's who I had second.
There you go.
Absolutely.
He has like in terms of expectations versus production, he has definitely been the best. Like if you're going from like what you expected to what you're getting, I have been blown away. So he has flaws as a player. I mean, we've seen it over the past couple of games. His defense, especially like the stuff like pick and roll defense, not great. Rim protection, not at a center level. And the rebounding I will say, has been a bit disappointing. I expected him to be a better rebounder. With that said, he's playing 20 minutes a game, giving you 10 points per game. And that is really good.
Yeah.
Not many players are playing 20 minutes a game, giving you over 10 points per game. On 52% from the field, almost 40% from three, and 77% from the line, with like a good floor game. The guy can dribble. The guy can get to the rim. The guy can score inside. He can score on the fast break. He's one of the best interior scorers on the team. And he is easily one of the best shooters on the team, on a team that is just starved for perimeter threats. So he has definitely been one of the best players on the Raptors by far. And starting from where I expected him to be, which is like, maybe a 15-minute per game player. We were wondering whether he was going to be the next like Svi Mikhailuk or Juancho Hernan Gomez, aka the Euro shooter who can't shoot.
He's beat all those allegations.
He's beat the allegations. All like even if he sucked for the rest of this, maybe we'll say I'll give him a couple more games, and I'll say like that he has been one of the best free agent signings that this team has ever made. So
Bobby Marks did like ESPN's Bobby Marks did a kind of breakdown of like best value contracts, whatever, and he had Sandro on that list pretty easily. He's making minimum, like he's making like $2 million, giving you 20 minutes a game, being one of the best, like most impactful bench guys. Offense flows really well when he's on the court. So definitely a big, nice list for Sandro.
No coal in the stocking.
No, not for him. No. So then probably my next one, I would actually say would be Colin Murray-Boyles. And I feel like that might be a bit controversial, but he's hitting the marks that I kind of had expected him to in terms of like points. I expect him to be a bit better of a rebounder, but he's been making some really nice passes. He's being impactful as a defender. He's showing the kind of the heavy hands and stuff like that. And again, he's stepping into a lineup, playing big minutes. I've been pretty happy with what I've seen from so far. I'm not having the comparison thief of joy of Derek Queen. He's hooping, that's great. But Derek Queen's also shooting 14% from three, and Colin Murray-Boyles is shooting 40% from three. So that is definitely
45% from three.
45% from three. Crazy. So
I know.
I mean, I'm happy to not have an extra sub 20% from three shooter on the team.
One thing I'll say,
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off here, but like when I projected, like I will admit that I was a lot lower on Derek Queen than what he's shown. So he has really burst onto the scene and he's playing really well. I did expect if he went to a bad team to get stats up. Like that was one of the things that I could see him doing, which is putting up points, playing his game and getting his game off.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things that I saw. I thought that the Nets should have gotten him.
That's
I
exactly
didn't want
what
him on the Raptors because I was like, this guy doesn't play any defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried about, the rebounding thing and whether you could actually play with him at center as a long-term piece. I will admit there's egg on my face because his offensive game has been so much better than I expected it to be. When I saw Colin Murray-Boyles, I saw like a guy who could step in and be a role player on a good team right off the bat and then have extra steps going up where you could increase that usage and he could continue to give you good results. Yeah. So I expected the Raptors to be good this year, and I didn't realize that Jakob Poeltl was going to be injured for the whole season. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, yeah, I mean, there's some room for him to grow there. And I agree with what you're saying. Like I have been impressed with him in a lot of different areas, and especially statistically, he's really putting up some good stats in limited minutes. So, and you're right. A comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah. It's really tough, when you compare him to a guy that was drafted after him and he's putting up all world numbers. But like the thing is that there were some significant flaws, and that is why he fell down to that area of the draft. The Raptors didn't just pass on him. Like almost every team in the lottery passed on him. He was like almost 100% at the bottom of the lottery just because of the flaws that he had. But
Yep.
It is what it is.
I highlighted this comment here. It says, Julian, would you still take CMB with the 9th and Steve Elijah Martin over Raynaud?
Of course. No. I mean, knowing what we know, I would probably take Derek Queen with the 9th pick. I mean, you have to be realistic and project forward. It's not a slam. Like this is halfway through, not even halfway through their first rookie season. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of time for it to switch between the two of them. Yeah. But you can't ignore what you see. And I see a guy, Derek Queen has wildly exceeded what I thought that he was capable of. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not a super homer. I would say that, I would probably take Derek Queen right now. But that doesn't mean that it's written in stone that Colin Murray-Boyles is going to be a worse player than him for the remainder of his career.
Oh, exacu And
Elijah Martin over Raynaud, like, come on, man. I mean, come on. Yes, of course. Of course I'd take Raynaud over.
Raynaud is looking great right now with Sabonis, as Chidzo says in the comment here. Exactly. And we need that. Like, he's got the measurables of Jakob Poeltl, but moves more fluidly than more than half our roster. He's great. Like, does he have some defensive lapses? A little bit, but
but you can play him at center.
Yeah, right. Elijah Martin has looked fantastic for the G League team. Great. Awesome. I'd like to see him get some run, but that's kind of in a position where there's a bit of a logjam and stuff, but everybody's been disappointing there. So you might as well give Elijah a chance, but we need bigs. We need 7 feet tall guys. Raynaud, easy pick there.
All I'll say though, is that the way that you construct a roster, in my opinion, is that you do not draft for need. Yeah. The thing is that what you should do is that you should use trades and free agency to fill out the gaps in the roster, and then you should take the player that you think is going to be the best. Yeah. So for people who are thinking like, well, we need to draft a center, that's how you end up with Jackson Hayes over Tyrese Halliburton. Right. Or like who's the center for the Okongwu over Tyrese Halliburton? Right. Because you had Trae Young and you're like, oh, well, we can't have another point guard. So let's go get a big. And Okongwu has been pretty good this season, but like Tyrese Halliburton fell because other teams were like, well, we've already got our point guard. Yeah. We don't need this guy. But then you ignore the fact that, this guy is actually extremely talented, and maybe you should make adjustments with your roster via trades and free agency to address the problems with the roster instead of trying to reach for a guy who your team needs more, like a Rafael Araujo. I'm really dating myself here, over Danny Granger.
It's
and
a good pull.
Andre Iguodala. So, okay.
Well, I mean, and look, like if you're asking me about hindsight with the Colin Murray Boyles pick and everything that transpired, I would trade that pick to New Orleans. Take Asa Newell at 23rd, like Atlanta did, and then have a top 5 pick coming up this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what you can do with the hindsight, and that's what
Yeah.
I would absolutely do, right? But as it stands, still have high hopes for him. And
I have been pleased with what I've seen from Colin Murray Boyles. And like, is it the perfect rookie season right now? No, but he's also not getting the same kind of opportunities that Derek Queen is. Derek Queen gets 30 minutes a night, win or lose.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Colin Murray Boyles is playing off of the bench, 17 minutes a game, and playing pretty well. So let's not get too over our skis here. All right. So naughty and nice list. Have we done 3 of the nice?
I think about, because
we've
I
been
think
too nice here.
Yeah,
let's get to the naughty list.
It's time.
Okay, you can go first, but don't steal my naughty list here.
My number 1 guy is Bobby Webster.
All right. Okay.
I'm looking at the Jakob Poeltl deal. I'm looking at the fact that we still don't have a backup center.
Yeah.
Do something, Bobby. You can sign a guy off the trash heap and add size. Koloko just got signed. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Who cares? But you're looking at this team as they're struggling, and Yak is trying to play through it. He played 7 minutes and then like physically couldn't. I'm not even blaming Yak for this.
Yeah, I don't think you can put Yak on the naughty list. He's literally like going out. He's like, my back is his back is falling apart.
It's just unfortunate. It is what it is, right? But he got that big extension, and I'm looking at you, Bobby. You got to solve it. He's got chance to redeem himself. He's going to have ample opportunities, but as it stands right now, he's at the top. He's getting 10 things a call from me because I need him to wake up. I need him to do something before the team slides so far in the standings that now you're fighting for the play-in instead of being nicely seated in the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. I hate to do it, but Emmanuel Quickley. So he's really bookended his tenure this season.
Yeah.
He started terribly. He had that amazing stretch where he was banging shots and looking like the kind of player that the Toronto Raptors signed him for, putting up efficient like 16.7 assists on like really good shooting percentages and kind of just banging shots and doing his thing. And then the past couple of games, excluding last game when he played maybe like 10 minutes of like insanely good ball with like horrible everything else. But he was one of the best players in that game, which is kind of sad. But like he has not, it is partially his fault and partially not his fault. But listen, the guy's being paid $32 million a season and he's a Jakob Poeltl merchant. If Jakob Poeltl isn't in the game, he looks like turbo ass. And that is, and I'll say that that's partially his fault because, you know, he's a basketball player. He's got to work with what he has and get it done somehow. On the other hand, you gave Bobby Webster a lump of coal. And one of the reasons is because they have one guy on the roster who is a good role man. One. And to be a good role man, you have to set solid screens. The whole point of a pick and roll is to create separation, either for the big or for the guard. And one of the ways that Emmanuel Quickley is able to be effective is by getting a good screen, not these wimpy little screens. One of the things that I like about CMB is that he's actually probably the best screener outside of Jakob Poeltl on the team.
Sure. Because he sets a screen. He actually puts his body into it.
Screen and he tries to go into the paint. Sandro is a pick and pop guy, and he doesn't have the heft to like really free up Emmanuel Quickley. Scotty Barnes, I don't know what the hell he's like. That's the one thing that he's not good at is the screening. He's always slipping the screen. It's like, bro, you're like,
and especially with Quickley. And especially with Quickley, who does not hit him with the pass ever. So you're cheating for what? And all it does is just maybe give a switch off for Quickly, who like it amounts to nothing.
And quickly, like maybe it would work if you had like a Chris Paul or like one of these like elite passers.
Yeah.
Where if you slip the screen, you can throw the ultra accurate lob pass over the two defenders and get him the ball right next to the rim. So like it's a mismatch in terms of the two types of players that Scotty and Quickly are. Scotty wants to be getting the ball deep in the paint, and Quickly wants to be getting a big screen so that he can come off and shoot the ball.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like you can't just have one guy. How is that possible? How is it possible that you built a roster that has one guy who can set a proper screen for your $32 million point guard?
For real. And he's the only guy who's over 7 feet tall.
I know.
And he has the back of a 60-year-old coal miner.
I know.
It's one of the main sources of their problems. But I think Quickly as a naughty list is just perfect given what is transpiring. He is he's not looking like your franchise point guard. He's not like he's looking like a scoring guard. Cool. But
what I will say,
go ahead.
Sorry. What I will say is that even if you want him off the team, okay, say you're done with Quickly. You're like, I don't want to see him anymore. He's not good. Can we at least pump his value by getting guys that he can play with?
Yeah, for real.
Just get a guy to make him look better.
Yeah.
Get him a guy who can set a screen so that he can come off and shoot the three ball.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say, like, sorry, I kind of hijacked your whole thing.
Go ahead.
Like a lot of the time, like, yes, he doesn't have a good screen setter. The past couple of games, he's been getting open shots and just bricking them.
Yeah.
Like he's just spraying bricks at the rim. So that is why he's getting a lump of coal from me. He should be better, even though the roster isn't really designed with him in mind.
And even as Darko says, oh, they're good shots he's getting, whatever. It's like, okay, cool. His main job, the main reason he makes money is to hit those shots, right? Yeah. If a fry cook came in and messed up 80% of the fries he made, he would be fired.
Yeah.
That's his main job. And Quickly is not doing his main job. And like he projects leadership, he projects ownership of it, but like you don't really see it in the game in the same way that they do after. It all just seems like everybody's just talking nice after the game, where it's like it just doesn't really translate. So yeah, disappointing there. And he was on my list too. I think he was my number 2.
All right. Who else is on the list here?
Grady Dick.
Okay, yeah.
He's Dick
also in there.
Man, the clock is ticking for his career. This is crazy. He is like, he was shooting earlier. He was shooting close to 40% earlier in the year. There was some nice signs. I think I even in a video where I did a buy, hold, sell, I was like, I'm going to buy on Grady Dick. He's trending upward. Right back down. I don't even get it. He doesn't even look like an NBA player more than half the time. Incredibly disappointing. Was Grady on your list?
He was, yes. I was waffling between him and Quickly, but I gave it you have to go with Quickly because he's being paid more and
bigger role, bigger responsibility.
Responsibility, absolutely. But exactly. Grady Dick has been very disappointing. Like one of the things is that he is a guy who needs to be able to hit shots, and he seems to have lost all of his mojo. Like he's to shoot now.
Yeah.
And I was saying that one of the things that he needs to do is move off of the ball and make shots. And it seems like if the shot isn't just a wide open catch and shoot spot up shot, he's trying to drive it. And he's trying to get inside, and he's trying to like take guys off of the dribble. And I'm just sick of it. I can't watch it anymore.
Yep.
And all of the stuff that I've seen on defense, like there was this kind of illusory thing where he was like the Raptors were really trying to make up for the fact that he can't keep guys in front of him. And so they were immediately switching everything off of him.
Mm-hmm.
These like hot switches where like another guy would just literally run up and double so that he could switch off.
Yeah.
Or like on any kind of screenplay, they would immediately switch. teams figure that stuff out. If you're playing, over 15 minutes a game, teams are like, okay, once Grady gets on the floor, here's what we do. And then it's immediately exploitable. Like you get a good player on him, or even a like kind of mediocre player, you force the switch and then force him onto a really good perimeter player. And then you have to send a double and then everybody's open. It's like, there's no way of hiding a player that is literally unable to keep another player in front of them. You can, the only way that is tenable is if you are one of the best offensive players in the entire league. Like if you're Dirk Nowitzki, or if you're Steve Nash, you can't be a shooting guard who can't shoot. Like that makes like you're not getting it done on either end.
Exactly. Like the Atlanta Hawks even like struggled to cover up Trae Young's weaknesses. And like that's Trae Young compared to Grady Dick. It's insane. Like I thought about this the other day. If you dropped Grady into the starting lineup for the Houston Rockets, they would get worse. Like they would actually maybe start losing games, because as good as they are defensively, as insulating as they could be, everybody else's job gets harder, right? And all their focus has to shift. Like there was Davion is not on our team anymore. This was from last season, right? But there was a moment where it was a fast break and people were looking at it like, oh, why did Davion mess up there? It's like, no. Watch as he tries to think for Grady Dick and for Jamison Battle all at the same time, where he's saying, you got to go here, blah, blah. And by that time, he can't cover his own man. That's what's happening. Like you watch how frustrated Scotty is, how like when he turns around and, oh, there's a guy getting an open dunk. Like, how did that happen? Right. So like I said, the clock is ticking for Grady's career. He's not getting extended here. He's maybe getting packed. Like I'm sure they're going to try to dangle him as a filler in a trade and stuff. And maybe he'll have a second chance somewhere else and it'll work out. Hopefully for him, it does. But it's really not looking good. He doesn't look like an NBA player. And it's really funny because from that draft class, there was like 3 or 4 guys who were like, look at these guys, they're shooters. Right.
Hawkins as well.
Hawkins, the guy the Magic picked there.
Not Anthony Black. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Son of anyway, of course I blank on the name, but
it's okay.
And Grady, they're all like, look at these 3 shooters, right? All lottery guys, blah blah blah. None of them could shoot. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, we're not in great company there, like as the Toronto Raptors, but it's not De Silva. It was another player. I can't remember.
Jet Howard.
Jet Howard. There you go. Yeah. And it's a shame, but like they gave him a fair shake. What else can you do? Like they literally gave him minutes to develop. They bent the defensive structure of the team to allow him to play more minutes. This year, he is incapable of hitting a shot. Unless it is a set shot. And it's wide open. That's not an NBA player.
No, exactly.
Unfortunately. And hopefully they're able to deal him before word gets out. Maybe they can find, like, I don't know, maybe the start calling the worst GMs in the league and showing them the tape from the beginning of last season. Yeah,
that's how you have to do it. You have to pick somebody else, capitalize on somebody else's stupidity. And you look at the Kings and you go, you got guys you want to get rid of, How about this guy, right? So, maybe something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, that's the naughty and nice list. Unless you have other people on there, I think
I had post Nutcracker Scotty, because ever since he did that performance, he's been a little trash. But that was about it.
Don't blame the ballet company. Come on now. Okay, why don't we get into the Christmas wish list? Okay,
absolutely.
Let's do this. I'll start. Okay. My Christmas wish list is a player who can dribble the basketball. Okay. It doesn't matter. Huh?
Why would you want that on your basketball team? What?
I know. It's so weird. Like it's not been prioritized. Like it seems as though the Toronto Raptors really don't like players who can dribble. I understand why they're running the kind of offensive scheme that they are, where it's like a lot of passing, because there is like a couple of players who can actually dribble the ball. And I wouldn't say that there is a guy who has, other than Jamal Shed, that is, above average for their position. Maybe Scotty Barnes because he plays power forward, right? And so he can dribble better than most power forwards. But in terms of like actually having players who can dribble the ball, like even Brandon Ingram, who's a really good player, he can't dribble the ball very well. Yeah. Okay. That's probably one of his weaknesses as an offensive player. Nobody on the team can dribble.
In fairness, BI gets doubled very quickly. So it's like there's a lot of action on his hands pretty quickly. But yeah, like there's not too many players that I feel super confident with the ball in their hand. Like, remember Kyle Lowry? Oh, and he feels so calm when he had the ball in his hand. It's like, oh, it's all
under
going to be
pressure,
okay.
Getting doubled.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
But when a guy pressures our ball handler and meets him at half court or something, I'm like, somebody go help him. Somebody get the ball off him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I think that's a good request. Do you have anybody in mind?
I'd have to go out and check because it hasn't been at the top of my, like it is on my wish list, but there are other pressing needs. I started with a present that I wanted, but it isn't the top of the list. I'll let you.
I think I've got somebody kind of in mind for that.
Okay, let's hear it.
Darius Garland.
Yeah, there you go.
Darius Garland.
Now you're getting me interested. Yeah, absolutely.
Pick him off. Okay, the Cavs, they're toiling a little bit. There's some reports going out that he wants his own team, yada, yada, whatever, right? Don't be afraid to move some picks for a guy who is the kind of point guard you need. Yep. Excellent passer, great dribbler, great decision maker, can be a great shooter. Sometimes he's had some struggles. He gets injured. He's come back from injuries and stuff like that, right?
That's the thing. You just mentioned why I'd be a little the injury history.
But I will put my whole faith in Alex McKechnie. He can fix everything but Jakob Poeltl's back, which, that sucks. But get me that real point guard. Get me Darius Garland. That would change this team's ceiling substantially.
How about LaMelo Ball?
I would take LaMelo Ball. Yeah. He can dribble. And can you get him to play more serious? Maybe, right? Maybe. No more, 1 foot
struggle hoops,
threes and stuff like that. Exactly, right? Because in many ways, you're part of like this system that you're in, and the Hornets have been so unserious for so long. It's like that the habits rub off, right? Yeah. But maybe he changes that a little bit. I would make a deal for Garland, and secondary, I would make a deal for LaMelo if you couldn't get Garland. I want a real point guard. I want a guy who can dribble and who likes to pass. Both of those guys average like 7-8 assists. They really like to pass. Guys
they're advantage creators, and then they can do something with the advantage.
Yeah.
And like I get what the Raptors want to do. They want to create a big switchable, strong team that can do a little bit of everything. But when you get all the jack of all trades, like we need somebody who's a little bit better than like a 6 out of 10 dribbler. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
There's specialization exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is on your wish list? So you were going with players. I was kind of going.
Well, I'm back themes. And forth. I'm in between. There's themes and players, but the next thing is get me a freaking backup center that can play.
I had someone over 6'9".
Perfect. Exactly. Give me somebody with height. Dear Lord, if you are trying to bring Yak back in any way, shape, or form, he needs to be able to play like 16, 17 minutes and it be okay.
Yeah.
Right. As he's trying to rehab. You can't have him play starting minutes at this point, and then you can't run Sandro and Scotty as your backup centers. It doesn't work for either of them. I think that Scotty's getting banged up playing any of those center minutes. And yeah, Sandro just can't, like, you can't bang with a guy who is actually 7 feet plus. Actually a strong rebounder and stuff like that. Get me somebody big. Give me somebody Day'Ron Sharpe is not actually over 6'10". He plays a bit bigger, right?
He's long and he's built like a tank, and he's like a center.
Yeah,
man, he sucked yesterday. Yeah. I was like, haha. Well, I'll put him in a trade scenario with the Raptors, and of course,
and
he rewards me with a bum ass performance.
Yeah, more people walked away interested in Claxton from that game than but Claxton's going to cost you more.
Yeah,
I don't know if Claxton is the guy.
He's the guy that is going to actually cost you draft capital, whereas Day'Ron Sharpe, if you want to get like a bargain basement player, he'd be a little bit better. And I had also Yeah, go ahead.
I think you have to be careful who you do spend that draft capital on because you've messed it up a couple times already. So you got to be really careful and you got to really nail it and get the right one. So I'm weary on Claxton. Go
on. Well, I've also just put here players who care about winning. Players with a fire in their belly. Like, I get it. The Toronto Raptors have built a nice culture around players who are, good guys. And they have guys who
high character,
get along. They are in good spirits. I think that you can drop there's the soup is good. I think you can get a chili pepper and drop it into the soup and improve the flavor somewhat. Time to go out and get a veteran who wants to win more than to make friends.
Yes, exactly.
And that doesn't mean you have to go out and get like Draymond Green, who's like karate chopping people's heads off and like attacking genitals and stuff. Go out and get a guy who is a proven winner with a standard that people respect and is going to kick your butt, not physically, but like get on you if you are not bringing 110% to bang an extremely cliched drum. But I just like seeing the Raptors play the way they did last night and the game against the Celtics was so frustrating because they can play harder and they can play with more fire in their belly.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Exactly.
They are not.
Yeah.
And you need a guy who is a real rotation player that is willing to get in guys' faces and make them play hard.
Yeah.
Because, like Darko has his strengths as a coach, but one of the things that I have not seen him do is really hold guys accountable. Yeah. At least in public.
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing it behind the scenes, but I have not seen him really bust guys up and tell them that they're not doing the right thing or that their habits aren't strong enough.
Yeah.
I need to see better habits out of these guys and better, like they look good when things are going good. They look like a team that's cohesive. And when the ball is rolling down the hill in the right direction, everybody gets on board. That's all well and good. But once the ball needs to be pushed up the hill, it seems like nobody wants to. Nobody wants to really do the hard work to get people going in the right direction. And I need that.
I think that's a great take because so much like you want to be a playoff team. You want to be like, so much of that is getting punched in the face. And then what do you do next? Right. And this team is just showing that they just fold. Like the only thing that really matters to me in sports, in life, anything is effort. If you're putting in your max effort, no matter what your ability and stuff is, I will respect it and I will watch it and I will appreciate it. Cool. Right. That's why I like seeing young players and stuff play on like tanking teams and stuff because they're really trying to make the league. Right. So they're putting maximum effort in and it's like, okay, great. I love that. I can watch it in a game. Watching somebody who is talented and giving up drives me crazy. And we've got guys right now where it's like the fight is almost lost and they let go of the rope. And that it's like, I want a guy like, I don't know if it's a Dylan Brooks, I don't know, whatever, but I want them to go, I'm going to hold this rope until my hands fall off because that's what you need when the chips are down in a playoff setting and stuff like that, right? Like you need somebody who, Kawhi in the playoffs had the iron will of just like, no, F that, let's go get them both. Put me on Giannis, put me on this, right? Kyle Lowry, winner. Pascal Siakam, winner. These guys, that's the winner mentality. And you shipped out all of that from your team. And now you're like, oh, why can't we handle adversity? And I think like maybe there's some element of Darko there. And he was an honorable mention for my naughty list because I've been disappointed with the accountability of the team and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was like thinking about it right after that Celtics game. And I was like, imagine looking Joe Mazzulla in the eyes after going 1 for 7, right? What's he going to do? He probably tell you to F off, right?
Yeah.
what's Darko going to do? Probably hug you and tell you it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he gives it to you. I don't know, right? RJ does that. That is a great call. RJ, exactly. And they were really missing his consistent drive to always punch the paint, always try to score, always put the effort. They're missing that like crazy. And he just has to sit on the bench and watch these guys give up.
Well, Oblonsky here says RJ does that. And I agree to a certain extent. He plays with passion and he gets upset when, he's not playing well, and he does play with a bit of fire in his belly. So that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
The Raptors need more of that is all I'm saying. Excuse me. Okay, let's get to diagnosing the Toronto Raptors problems. And we've kind of done that a little bit, but why don't we get kind of into this? So like my thesis here is that I read a tweet, I believe it was by Esfandiar Baraheni, and he was saying like RJ is not going to come in and solve all of the Raptors problems.
Yeah. And
while I agree it's true, like people are mythologizing RJ in terms of what he brings to the table. Excuse me. What I'll say is that maybe he is not the perfect player, and I agree, like he's not an amazing player, but one thing that he did last season and this season is that he produced in terms of statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Like he put up numbers. And of course that isn't a huge thing. Like you can put up numbers on a losing team, you can put up numbers on a winning team, and he's kind of done both of those things. But one of the things that I have noticed is that if you go from like a player who like RJ, who's like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. So that's good. That's a rotation player. He's a good player, I believe. If you go from a 7.5 to a 5,
mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you have a bench player who's like a 5 and he gives you a little bit of what the Toronto, what your team needs, what RJ delivers, then it's not a huge fall off, and you can kind of deal with that. Maybe you're not as good, maybe you're not as dynamic, you still miss the guy, but it's not like a fall off that is catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the Toronto Raptors is that they don't have a 5 out of 10 guy that would give you like a pretty good fraction of what RJ gives. You are going from like a 7.5 to a 2.
Yeah.
You're going from a 7.5 to a 2.
Yeah.
In terms of statistical production, you're going from a guy who regularly puts up 20 points per game to guys who can't put up 6 points a game. And then guess what happens? Everybody else, like all of the other players, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, Brandon Ingram, they all get guarded harder.
Yep.
They are all picking up defensive, like the defense keys in on them. They are expected to produce more.
Yeah.
Because they have to put up more points in order to make up for RJ, because there's nobody to make up that production.
Yeah.
And they're getting guarded harder.
Yeah.
So you go from one of the best offenses in the league, and we didn't realize how tenuous it was, because we had a guy who was playing over 30 minutes per game and giving you pretty much exactly what you needed, which was a steady hand, scoring the ball and playing in transition, blah, blah, blah. We all know what he brought to the table.
Yeah.
Going from that to what the next guy up theory, the next guys up are not ready for prime time.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the matter. They have tried to replicate his production. They've tried to fill him in with Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji, and Jacoby Walter.
Yeah.
And sure, Ochai has looked a little bit better recently. Jacoby Walter can hit threes and play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Grady Dick, not sure what he's bringing to the table, but like none of those guys are doing what the team needs, which is score the basketball
and get paint touches. Like their paint scoring has just dropped dramatically because like, and him coming off the wing to get that paint touch is like opening up the like adjacent side of the floor, because the defense has a more of a swivel. But like when you've got Ochai, who you don't have to respect from 3 anymore, you don't have to respect Grady from 3. Jacoby hits threes at a 40% clip, but nobody cares. doesn't get guarded the way like even
No.
like Grady Dick does. It's not actually really providing the same spacing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And
very
he can't
damaging.
he cannot dribble.
No,
He
exactly.
can't, he's the worst dribbler on the whole team.
Honestly, yeah.
And he's struggled to finish inside. So yes, he's giving you some of the stuff that you need.
Mhm.
It would be better if he was like playing off of a guy like RJ.
Yeah.
And giving you a 3-and-D thing. But
Yeah.
you've got a bunch of guys like theoretically Ochai is a 3-and-D guy.
Mhm.
And he's kind of recovered his 3-point shot recently, but like that 2 3-and-D guys isn't going to make up for a slashing wing. Like those are just different players.
Yep.
And they're not giving you what you need from that position, which is quite clearly some scoring, some actual production.
Yeah.
Another thing is that like ditto with Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
Ditto. You need the offense is a read and react offense that is about off-ball movement, screening for players, screening the screener, and literally you have nobody that can set screens outside of Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
What is happening? Like those are two guys who, when they're healthy and playing well, everything looks good because, you know, your team is functioning.
Yeah.
You have a guy who can run your sets as the center playing 30 minutes a game. And when he goes to the bench, you can play small for a little bit, but you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to play small the whole game. When he is out of the game, there's nobody who can replicate his production.
Yep.
His rebounding, his ability to set screens, even his passing, his off-ball screens, all of that stuff, you just don't have that. So they're just gaping holes in the roster that are not being filled. There's no next man up. That is the problem with the issue with the Raptors.
Yep.
There is no next man up.
Yeah, nobody is scalable. Like when you look at like the Celtics, their guys like Luka Garza and stuff were beating us on the glass. All of them were able to scale up into a bigger role, and like Hugo Gonzalez just attacking closeouts and putting pressure on the paint, just consistently doing that. And that was hell for the Raptors to even deal with. They've got guys who can take an extra step up and be slightly better than they're expected to be in the absence of somebody else. And the Raptors have guys right now who are not even playing their own role, let alone a step up role.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. They're not meeting the bare minimum.
Yeah.
They're like, I would like, for what I've seen from Grady Dick the past couple of evenings has been like a 1 out of 10. He's not playing defense. He's not hitting shots. He does like maybe like I dive for a loose ball. It's like a make-a-wish thing where you see this guy playing and you're counting all the good things that he does and ignoring all of the bad things. Like I've seen a lot of people, it's like, we got to give him more of a chance. It's like,
come on.
Year 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Year 3.
That Cam Newton meme, I don't know if you've seen that, right? Where he's like going in on where he's like, we give that grace to young players. Yeah. Exactly. That plays in my mind consistently with guys like Grady or Scotty on an off night. It's just like, no, these are guys who are now becoming veterans who don't get that grace anymore, right? No. You need to show up or you need to get benched. And
I want to see Elijah Martin.
Exactly.
I want to see Elijah Martin. I want to see AJ Lawson. I want to see you know what, Jonathan Mobo.
Yep.
Bring him back up again.
They were honorable mentions on my wish list. Get these guys in the game and put pressure on your guys who do have guaranteed contracts that your spot is not safe. You've got Elijah Martin who's about to take your minutes. You've got Jonathan Mobo who's about to take your minutes.
I think that they're just trying to get these guys out of here.
Yeah.
I literally think that they are just like, let's get Grady on the floor. Let's see if he can get a couple of points up there. Let's get Ochai Agbaji, who has been playing better. If he gets a decent return, you know, I'll feel good about it. Get these guys out of here. Bring those 905er guys. Like AJ Lawson isn't anything special. I don't think he's like maybe a rotation player. The guy can dribble.
Yep.
He's not afraid of shooting the ball.
Yep.
You can pass him the ball. He will try to go to the rim and make a layup.
Yep. It's very low standards we're asking for here.
I know. Okay. All right. Those are we diagnose the Raptors' issues, and I want to get into the stats for the last 10 games. Unless you have, let's get to the.
Let's get into that.
Yeah. So let me quickly share the screen here. So let's take a look at the Toronto Raptors the past 10 games, because it is not pretty. So as you can see here, the Toronto Raptors, they're actually not at the very bottom of the list in terms of wins. So there are a couple of teams that have won fewer games than them in the past 10. The Clippers, the Heat, and the Kings. Not a list you want to be associated with. The Hawks, the Cavs, the Bucks. Oh my God, it's the mid teams here. And let's take a look at the offensive rating, because this is disgusting. So the Toronto Raptors are dead last in terms of offensive rating over the past 10 games. They have looked absolutely atrocious on the offensive end. Their net rating is, I believe, second worst over that time span. Yeah, if you can see here, -9. Only the Wizards have a worse net rating over that period of time. And it really is. It's just the offense. Like the defense isn't even that bad. Let's take a look here. It's not great, but it's middle of the pack here. Look at this, 114. And I mean, that passes the eye test.
Yep.
They are, they're not a terrible defensive team. They're making the rotations. They're actually making other teams work. They go on these runs sometimes because the offense decides to wake up for like a brief moment, and they hold other teams to like a pretty decent shooting percentage.
Yeah.
But their offense is just otherworldly bad. They're turning the ball over like crazy. Like, I wanted to point this out. Yeah, they're 26th in turnover rate. Their true shooting percentage, I believe, is last in the league. Yeah, last.
Oh my
even
gosh.
Worse than the Wizards. It's just not a good. They have not been a good team.
Yeah.
And this is not a surprise. This is not something that, all you have to do is watch the games. I wouldn't even blame you if you weren't watching the games right now, because if you watch the first, second quarter, it's sickening.
Yeah.
The amount that they struggle on offense.
I've had so many, I got to turn this off moments, but I'm a sicko and I literally can't bring myself to actually turn it off. So I just sit there annoyed watching this, just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, turnover. Oh, what the hell was that? Why is Scotty standing in the corner? Like, just the grossest basketball you could have, and not what you expect from a guy who Darko has a degree in basketball and he wrote a thing about pick and rolls, and it's like all this stuff that can be a good offense. We saw them be a top 5 offense, and they went from 14-5 to now 17-13.
17-12, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty disgusting. And let me just see. 17-13. You're right. So yeah, they're creeping back towards 500, which is definitely not not where you want to be, especially with that start to the season that they had. And we've diagnosed the problem, which is that nobody can dribble and they don't have any screen setters. That is kryptonite. Okay. So one of the reasons that a team can be good is because you have a guy who can break another team down off of the dribble. That's how isolation plays work, is that you have an elite ball handler who's able to attack a setup defense. And if you don't have that, well, guess what? There are pick and roll guards. Like, think about Emmanuel quickly. How does he get into the paint? How does he get his shot off? By somebody standing in front of his man and setting a screen.
Yep.
So you have not only nobody who can set a screen, you also don't have anybody who can dribble the ball. It's going to be a disaster. You can't, if you can't get into the paint, that means you're not bending the defense. That means that everybody stays at home, or they're playing zone, which has been happening the past couple of games.
Because the Raptors are beating people with the pass, swing,
Yeah.
swing. Yeah, great. People just started playing zone.
Yeah, they
And
play
it's just
zone.
like, okay, cool.
And you're passing the ball around the perimeter for 20 seconds until you have to settle for a Jamal Shed 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And the whole point of a zone is that, the point of a zone is to stop penetration. And one of the ways to beat a zone is by having a player. Well, first of all, there's holes in the zone, but the second one is like getting offensive rebounds. The zone is terrible against offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do the Raptors not have? They don't have any centers, so they're not getting any offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Another way to do it is by using off-ball screens and cuts, or attacking a defense, the zone defense where it's weak, so you force over-helping.
Mm-hmm.
So multiple players come to squeeze the ball, and then you pass it back out and get an open shot. None of that is happening. There's no movement. There's no off-ball movement. The cutting has not been good enough. The off-ball screening is just absolutely non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not forcing teams to bend their defense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening. I'm watching them pass the ball around from the top of the perimeter until Brandon Ingram decides to go 1-on-2.
There's so much
score.
Save us Brandon offense where like you'll see like Scotty like hold the ball, wait until he's like, all right, and now Brandon, now go save us.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're not gonna win games like that. Like KD can't even consistently win games being just that. Like you're putting so much pressure on Ingram to literally just like play like the best player in the world for you to win a game, and they're better than that. They've got enough talent where it's like, yeah, they've got deficiencies, they've got some issues with some things, but they still have enough talent that they shouldn't be resorting to just the grossest stuff.
Absolutely. It is it's a really frustrating experience to watch, and there's another side to the coin here. It's not just all the on offense. It's also the rebounding. The rebounding has just not been good enough. The Luka Garza game was one of the worst viewing experiences I've ever seen.
Yep.
9 offensive rebounds from a guy who is not an NBA caliber rotation player.
No.
I mean, he had a really good game, no doubt about it. He was one of the best college players ever. So like, don't get it twisted. This guy is a good player in certain circumstances, but he's not a rotation caliber player. This guy should not be destroying your team on the glass.
No.
And these are problems with roster construction, but there's also a dog problem.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the barking you're hearing. I am talking about the Toronto Raptors not having guys who are willing to just push people around, throw people to the ground, like force them to not come into the paint, play tough. It seems like they're getting cream puff players and are just getting outworked. The boxing out is not good enough. The attention to detail, like making sure that other people don't sneak in, that's not good enough. The guard, like they're trying to sneak out because, they're a fast break team. But when you do that, there's not enough players back to actually rebound. It feels like one problem is leading to another problem. It's like a cascading effect where everything falls apart. And of course, I think that Darko is an issue, but I also think that the team is just not trying hard enough. I think that these guys have to wake up and play a little bit harder than they've shown over the past couple of games. In any case, I think that we will probably end there. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that just kind of like hour-long gripe session. But maybe they call that catharsis.
Exactly.
And when you're nodding your head in agreement to somebody who's kind of tearing down the team that you love, sometimes that's what's needed in order to feel better. There's a purging that's happening in your soul. Yeah. That makes you feel a little bit better, even if it hurts, It's
therapeutic. So, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So anybody, who is listening to this and maybe you want to hear it again, we are going to be on Spotify. That's correct. The last episode is up on Spotify. This episode will be up tomorrow. And hopefully, if you're listening to it on Spotify, subscribe. Make sure that this is one of your ways that you get Raptors information. Hopefully, we're making it entertaining enough for you guys. We've been doing this for a while now. I believe this is our 26th episode. I think we were on 25 before. So we're in the swing of things. I think we're actually getting this down, Pat. I hope that everybody who's watching live has enjoyed themselves, because this is an enjoyable experience for us. And let your friends know if they're Raptors fans. Raptors Report Podcast.
That's right.
All right, Steve, do you have anything you want to plug?
Just no, nothing to plug. Just subscribe to the podcast, guys, and Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks everyone.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Yeah, everybody who hung out, chatted, who's been with us. It's been really fun start to the way the podcast and everything. It's always great to see you guys chatting and engaging along. It's super fun. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Cheers, guys.